It's about that time.
City Views, City Views.
What's happening in your city?
City Views, City Views. City Views, City Views.
You got love for your city?
City Views, City Views. City Views. Ah, City Views, City Views, City Views. Ah, City Views, City Views, City Views, City Views. Ah, City Views, City Views, City Views, City Views, City Views. Ah, City Views, City Views, City Views, City Views, City Views, City Views, City Views.
And guess what? It is happening again. We are back in the house bringing you another episode of City Views, and I, for one, couldn't be happier about that. What do you guys think?
Me too.
Yep, I'm excited. I haven't been here in a couple weeks.
That's
so
true.
I
I'm
know.
excited
That's
to be
true.
back joining you all.
Absolutely. So, yes, we got some exciting topics to talk about. We have a fabulous guest.
We do.
So, yeah, so what's been happening with you, Jacque? What you got?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that, but I'm so excited about tonight's show because, obviously our guest, Susan Smith, the executive director for the Cancer Care Fund, someone who I know personally, have the opportunity to work with, and I think our viewers will find our conversation with her very informative because the Cancer Care Fund is just one of those entities that provide services that just really help families cope with the challenges that cancer provides. So we're going to be talking to her about that, and we want to make sure that you get in touch with everybody you know and tell them to tune in. All right, we're going to be here for about an hour, so you got a little time.
Yeah.
But you don't want to miss a single second. All right.
Exactly.
So as we're getting on with the show, we're going to turn over to my lovely co-host, Coryse, who we're glad to have back with us this evening to give a shout out to our sponsors.
All righty. So we'd like to thank Toth Insurance Agency, 1151 East Main Street, Torrington, Connecticut. Better protection, better value, 860-496-7771. Toth INS at optonline.net. Next, we have Mel Brickman and Health Markets, 16 McDermott Ave, Suite 1, Torrington, Connecticut.
You better call Mel.
There you go. 860-307-1128. And his email address is it's healthmarkets.com/local-health-ins. Website, sorry, not email address. Next, we have Brooks, Todd, and McNeil Insurance, 69 Water Street, Torrington, Connecticut. Keeping an eye on your insurance needs since 1839.
That's a long time.
Very
Just
long.
a
That's a
little
long
bit.
time.
A little bit.
860-598-8753. BrooksToddMcNeil.com. And let me see, was that it? Do we have one more? Lastly, we have Dr. Michael Curry, 30 Peck Road, Suite 2105, Torrington, Connecticut. Pediatric care for over 50 years. 860-482-8177. And their website is torringtonpediatrics.com.
Thank you so much, Coryse. We appreciate that.
Fabulous.
And unfortunately, Kareem, our co-host, couldn't be here with us tonight. He usually delivers the big city sponsors, but teamwork makes the dream work here on City Views, and Coryse steps
She
up
did it.
and does her thing. So thank you,
She's
Coryse.
fabulous. She's fabulous.
Absolutely. And, as I was mentioning earlier, our guest on the show tonight, Susan Smith from the Cancer Care Fund, with us this evening. Susan, now we've had an opportunity to work with each other through the tour of Litchfield Hills which has been a significant uh, source of fundraising for the fund. But can you tell us just a little bit about your work with the Cancer Fund and how important you think this work is in delivering services to the community?
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. The Cancer Care Fund was actually started 20 years ago. We're about to celebrate our 20th anniversary. And it was begun at Charlotte Hungerford Hospital with nurses who were taking care of cancer patients, and those patients started to donate monies, and it grew. And we became a fund through the Northwest Connecticut Community Foundation. And today we serve, we truly serve our neighbors.
Right.
Because we are limited in the scope of what we serve. We only serve cancer patients in Litchfield County.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very limited. And in order to receive assistance, you do have to prove financial need.
Mm-hmm.
And you do have to be currently in treatment.
Mm-hmm. I don't think people understand all that's involved, all the ramifications that's involved in this particular kind of care, because cancer is such just a terrible, terrible disease.
Ugly thing.
Totally, it really is, and it can last a very long period of time, and in that period of time, the patient can actually, they're living. However, the connections that can be made to make sure that while they're going through the process, that their emotions are high, their spirits are high, and they have the support of their family. Talk to us a little bit about how the Cancer Care Fund takes care of those intermediate needs that people may not recognize that are very crucial in delivering those services.
Lots of times people are struggling just on an everyday normal basis. And then when you get a diagnosis of cancer, that can really affect you in many ways. Oftentimes you might be having to go to treatment every day or every week. Those treatments might be difficult for you. They might make you sick. They might make you tired. They oftentimes don't allow you to work because you have to go to treatment. So depending on what your job is, we find people don't maybe have adequate insurance, or they're getting paid in such a way that they can't take time off. If they don't work, they don't get paid. So what we do is offer financial assistance to those patients. We don't actually give money to the patients themselves, but rather we will pay something for them. Like, for instance, we'll pay their mortgage.
Okay.
We'll pay their rent. We might pay their electric bill.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of people have high utility bills.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And have trouble paying those things.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the kinds of things that we pay for patients depending on what their need is.
And that's so important, because once you're able to alleviate some of those stresses, it allows a quicker recuperation period so that you can really focus in on getting healed and getting back
People
up to snuff.
have a little sense of relief.
Right.
There's a connection, they say, between how you're doing mentally and
yes.
just healing and
Sure.
getting yourself
Sure.
better.
Right.
If you're mentally just depressed and down because you have all these bills that you're facing every day, and you can't do anything
Right.
about it, you're not going to help yourself heal,
Right.
faster or the right way.
Exactly.
Right.
That's
So
very
talk
true.
to us about, you're a 501c3, a
Yes.
nonprofit.
Yes.
So talk to us about how you do fundraising and things like that, how people can get involved in some of the events. You have fabulous events that you put on. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, our major fundraiser is the Tour of the Litchfield Hills.
Which is amazing.
Yes, it is amazing because we raise roughly $100,000 a year at that event alone.
That's
Wow.
great.
Can you tell
Which-
me a little more about that? Because
Yes.
I'm not sure if I know the tour.
I
of
can't
Litchfield.
believe
Do
you
I?
don't know about the
Maybe
tour
I
of Litchfield Hill.
do. Maybe I do, but let me hear.
They got the
you.
That's
best
okay.
DJ in the city playing at that
Oh,
thing, man.
I never heard of him, but no, no, but no, seriously. I mean, talk
Right,
about that
well-
because it is huge. Like it's big. It is so big.
The Tour of the Litchfield Hills is a bicycling event. It's not a race.
Okay.
All right. So people come, and people come from all over. I mean, we bring in people from lots of other states.
Mhm.
People who are enthusiastic about bicycling will go anywhere
Right.
to do something. And in the Litchfield Hills, it's a beautiful area. We have different routes. There's short ones and there's long ones. I think there's 12 miles, 50 miles, 75, and 100.
Wow.
Yep.
100.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those
Do they
100,
come back the same day?
they do.
No, because I mean,
Believe it or
No,
not.
one there a couple years there, you had to hang out for like 3 days. It's like, is this guy ever
well,
coming
no,
back?
I mean that goes to show you
Someone
how
just
much I
showed
know
up
about 100 miles
4
of
weeks
biking.
later.
Yeah.
Right? Is that they're due now?
But on a bicycle, that's not a long.
Wow.
That's not a long ride.
And you
It's-
said the tour of the Litchfield Hills, so they're just touring all the towns within.
Yeah, we have different routes that go up
Okay.
through the different towns: Goshen, Sharon, Canaan, Falls Village,
That's
Litchfield,
amazing.
all
Yeah.
up
Wow.
through there. And the 100-milers leave at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
Okay, so when did they get back? And I'm not being
Um,
funny. I
usually
mean,
around-
I
usually
would
around
say
noon. Usually
about
around noon.
about 6 to 8 hours.
really?
Wow.
Yeah,
Usually around noon.
Really?
yeah.
On an
And
average.
Wow.
And
have,
what time do they start?
7 o'clock in the
morning.
morning.
Okay.
They go off.
Yeah. Well,
And-
needless to say, you and I would be starting in the tricycle section. 15 minutes. Yeah, we're good.
We're good.
Okay,
Yeah.
But that's
along
amazing.
the route, there are rest stops. There's potties for them. There's drinks. Water, snacks,
Wow.
different
Yep.
different stops
That
along
is
the route.
crazy.
And then
though.
when the bikers come back, they have they provided some
Right, we
food
have-
for them and,
we have a
drinks
big
in Co-Park.
Food
so,
event
Yeah.
when they come back.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the way you raise the funds for this.
It's through registration.
Okay.
Okay.
We also sell jerseys, and riders get donations.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
Okay, so they do
Nice.
like pledges or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, when does this usually? This is a yearly event. So when
It's a
does this
yearly
usually
event.
take
It's
place?
the first Sunday in August.
Wow. Okay,
every
that's
year.
fabulous.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that. I knew about it. I've seen the cyclists, but I didn't realize 100 miles. Like that's
Yeah.
impressive.
And we get
Wow.
500 to
Really?
750 riders. We
That's
get
amazing.
A lot of
That's
Lot of
amazing.
riders.
Karen and I will show up on a motorized.
Yes. A motorized bike. Just press the. Yeah, we'll do the 100
There you
one.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
on
Electric
one of the
bike.
buddy bikes.
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Oh, the
Yeah.
tandem.
Yep.
You'll be on the front. I'll be on the back, and we're gonna. Oh,
We
my
also have
goodness.
walking
Yeah.
routes. We also have walking routes.
Oh, okay, that I
Okay.
can do. All
Okay.
right, there you go.
Okay, you
So
got
you can also walk, and those
Okay.
are also different miles.
Okay,
You know,
that's so
short,
cool.
long. This year we changed our routes. We took everybody through downtown Torrington so they could see all the things that have happened in Torrington.
Nice.
We went out on the new walking routes along the river, and
Now you also did
Yeah.
a couple years back. You did, or was it last year? Didn't you do Elton John impersonator?
that was an Elks Club event.
Oh, okay, but
we
I
did
think
not
didn't
do
it,
that, but it benefited.
but it
us.
benefited you guys. Oh, that was
Yes.
fun too. So that's great. So
Yes.
you do this, and you get the funds, and then people can apply to you.
Yes.
So how can they contact you?
Well, most of our patients come through.
The hospital.
The
Okay.
hospital, the radiation oncology, Smilo Cancer Center.
Okay.
Some of them come out of Waterbury. The criteria is that you have to live in Litchfield County
Okay.
or be treated in Litchfield County.
Okay.
So even if you live in Litchfield County but you're being treated at UConn, you can apply for
Oh, that's good.
assistance.
And how long does it
Something like
typically
that.
take before they start receiving the assistance?
Oh, right away.
Oh,
Right
That's
away.
good.
We have a board meeting every month. The board of directors makes decisions on who gets what, and then we send out checks right away.
wow, that's
I
good.
mean, that's an
So-
amazing thing that you have there, Susan, because again, like you said, that is all within a mental health process too of you're dealing with the fact that you're going through cancer. And then how am I going to, what am I going to, and then there's this fund and, that they're able to, go to for assistance, I think is just amazing. I mean, there's nothing better than knowing that somebody's there to help you get through this difficult time. So that's amazing.
I think too, that's part of kind of like the resource distribution network that's developing here in Torrington and in the Northwest corner. I think organizations like the Cancer Care Fund understand how important these services are and how they enhance the community. And I think people are starting to pick up on this model, so those supplemental services can start coming into play. One that just off the top of my head that we were talking about in terms of how we can deliver better services in Torrington is just transportation. And with the Cancer Fund, Care Cancer Fund, I know that there's situations where your clients, that's one of their biggest needs.
Right, and that's something that we are lacking.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. I think that people are starting to recognize how they can deliver supplemental services to organizations like yours and how we can have that holistic delivery of social services that benefit the whole region.
That's
The
amazing.
American Cancer Society used to be more prominent in this area, and they used to have services that covered a lot of those things. But when they left, those services also left.
Right. Right.
So it's up to us to pick up where they left off and making sure that we're meeting those challenges going forward. So it's not easy, and I imagine there's a lot of nights when you're up awake, trying to figure out how you're going to make all this happen.
Well, we do make it happen. I'm happy to say, I have a really great board of directors, and we feel like we're doing the right things.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I know I was happy when I heard that you had gotten the position, and I'm like, well, your predecessor, she was great too, Emma Ebbs.
Oh, Ellen, yes.
Ellen, yeah, she was great, but I felt like your energy, what you're bringing to the table,
Oh, thank
will
you,
definitely
Jacque. Thank
take
you.
the organization forward.
And how long have you been there?
I'm just about to end my third year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right,
Yeah.
but wait a minute. I saw, because I know your sister, I've known you for years, and I know your sister, but I saw that you were just on a trip.
I was.
Do you care to expand upon that just a little bit for those of us who have never been there? I'm so jelly.
Oh,
So
Yes.
tell us.
Just got back from, just 2 weeks ago, got back from a wonderful trip to Italy.
Yes.
lovely.
Yes.
And you
Her
didn't
and
bring us like
Meg.
no pasta.
I know. Or wine.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
goodness.
know,
Shame
right?
on you and Meg.
Yes.
Wait till I see Meg.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
So
we had a
was it
wonderful
just
time.
the two of you?
No, there were actually 6 of us.
Oh, nice.
And we were on a tour.
Oh,
so there
nice.
was about 40 people, but there were 6 of us from here.
Oh, that's
Torrington,
great.
yeah.
So how exciting. That's one
was.
of my dream spots is to
Yes.
go to Italy before I kick the bucket.
Now, just as a side note here, I was looking at some articles not too long ago, and they were saying that Italy is one of those countries that has a reduced cancer rate.
Really?
No, I don't know.
They
Can't speak to that.
Pasta, wine,
Wine,
and
wine.
pizza.
Right.
Okay, being the number one, wine. I think we
Wine.
should,
I think
it's
the wine.
we need to do a study.
Yes.
We should do nothing
I
but
will
pasta,
gladly
wine, and pizza
sit
for a month and see if our health improves.
it will.
We would gladly.
It will.
Well,
Well,
the
Karen
Mediterranean.
and
I can tell you part of what it is. The Italians do not eat the portions that we eat.
Oh, true.
Right. But don't
Everything
they
that
eat
they
smaller,
eat is smaller.
more often or no?
I wouldn't say more often, but they definitely eat smaller amounts.
All right, so
That's
talk to
the
me
key.
about like
Here-
what did you see when you were there, like with that? Because I want to know because I'm never going to get there. So I just no, but seriously, like
Karen,
tell
we'll
me,
get there.
we're gonna get there. But seriously, talk to me about like a typical day, like, and how did you see that? Like, what was breakfast like?
Well, breakfast was in the hotel.
Okay.
So we were on a tour.
Okay.
So we were moving
Okay.
a lot. We only spent 2 nights at the most in any hotel.
Okay.
And we were there for 10 days. So we were in a lot of
Just
different
different
places.
cities.
Yeah.
Okay.
So every hotel has an Americano breakfast.
Oh, okay. So it's your regular eggs
And it's-
bacon
yep,
and-
Lots
okay.
of big waffles and.
No, it was very much. It was all. Every hotel was almost identical in what they
Really?
served.
Oh,
Okay. All right. So then now let's.
Scrambled eggs and Italian bacon, which is different than our
Really?
bacon.
Is it like a
Yeah.
pancetta a little bit, like a little
like
thicker, or
what is that?
prosciutto?
I think it was called
prosciutto?
Yeah.
Wurzel.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah, it was.
So-
it was different.
What about a lunch? So, like, what did you see? Like, I can't even imagine, like, the homemade pasta. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I
Yeah, we
can't
did
even.
have a lot of pasta, but we also had a lot of prosciutto
Yeah.
and mozzarella. The buffalo mozzarella is really amazing.
Small portions or big portions?
Small.
Okay.
Small portions.
Okay.
Everything is
Yeah.
small
She
portions.
got a little nub.
You have nothing.
Just
Nothing
Really?
is big.
now,
Wow.
were you? And this is going to sound funny, but were you hungry? Like, because, like,
No.
from going there, like,
No.
or did you eat more often, or?
No. In fact, I'm going to tell you honestly, we were very disappointed in the food initially.
Really?
Yes.
See, I'd be
But-
at every pizza place and what?
Well,
fill the cup. Hey,
But when
why?
you're
They're
on,
on a
when you're
tour.
on
They're
a
on a
tour,
Oh, that's right. You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
you're
makes things different.
very rigid.
Yeah.
Like you're going here's
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
and
All
your
right.
meals are included.
Okay.
So when you go
Oh, okay.
out, you're having dinner with 40 people.
Oh.
And so you're not ordering what you want, you're getting something.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well,
like
So-
a preset menu style.
Yeah, it was all.
how about desserts?
Preset.
We have to touch upon desserts
Oh.
before we move along.
I did have tiramisu more than once.
So was it like
And a
different
lot
from
of
our
gelato.
tiramisu? Was it different from like
No,
the
I didn't
tiramisu
think
here?
so.
No.
No.
Okay. All right. So we're
No.
getting it right over here.
Yeah.
We're
Okay.
getting it right.
Yeah. But I'm never gonna get there. So I'll just.
Yeah.
Well,
That's awesome.
but see, that's the great thing about, social media and virtual reality now, because you may not be able to go there physically, but you can go
Right.
there in your mind.
Not the
Yes.
same.
Oh,
No,
not
no,
the
you-
same.
Oh, I'm
There's
just
the wine,
saying, it's the
pasta.
next
I
best thing
know.
to being there, okay?
I think the thing that probably struck us the most about Italy was how old everything is. I mean,
Okay.
we think
Wow.
New England is old.
Right.
Right.
We are nothing.
Central,
Yeah.
I
We are
mean,
like brand new babies
Right.
compared to that. It's
Did you go
Right.
to Tuscany?
Yeah, oh yes, the
Oh,
most
my
beautiful
I want to
place
go
in the
to
world.
Tuscany
Yeah,
so bad.
so
What was that
beautiful.
movie with I can't remember the actress's name, but
Under the
Lane.
Tuscan sun.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my
sure.
gosh. I fell in love with Tuscany from that movie,
Okay.
and
Yes.
it was
It was
I
yes,
see girls trips. And
amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
just saying. That's amazing. But now, wait, let's move along to a little bit more personal stuff. Let's talk about.
oh, yeah.
Do we have a
Oh,
new
yeah.
grandchild?
Yes.
Mhm.
Grandchild number 4 was
Mhm.
born in July.
Mhm.
Oh my
Mhm.
God,
Yeah.
so exciting!
Yeah.
And your daughter Lauren is just a delight. We miss her.
Oh,
Can we
thank
give a
you.
shout out to Lauren?
Yes.
Shout out to Lauren.
And Greg.
Yeah.
And Greg.
right,
yeah,
So Greg,
yeah,
I know
yeah.
her husband my kids grew up with Greg and their parents and stuff. And I didn't even know that they were married. And I was like, oh my
Oh.
sister's not all connected.
Right.
So yeah, Lauren and Greg, and now so they have two because she had
Yes.
okay,
yes.
so
She has 3.5
Do they
year
live
old and
around
4
here or
months.
no?
Yes, they live in Burlington.
that's
Oh, okay. That's good.
beautiful. Well,
That's good.
congratulations and send
Thank
her our
you.
best. That's
Thank you. I will.
amazing.
That's
I
good.
will.
So you get to see them often.
Oh yes.
That's
Oh
good.
yes, I do. Yeah,
I
they're
love
5
it.
minutes away from us.
Oh, I love
perfect.
it.
Yeah.
And I got to see.
Yeah. I know Karen's going to be a grandmother soon.
Yes, in
Oh,
December.
yeah.
December.
December what? It better not be the 2nd.
Well, okay. Are you the second?
Yes, I
I'm
am.
the ninth.
Oh.
So low. Look at that. See?
No, and it's what's funny is that my daughter-in-law who's pregnant, she's doing very, very well, but she called me the other day and she said, by the way, the doctor said that it looks like you might go closer to Thanksgiving. I
Oh,
was
really?
like, oh. So
Wow.
yeah, so who knows? But
Yeah, who knows?
healthy, happy, that's all we care about,
That's
right?
right.
That's all that matters.
Right.
that's so exciting. Though.
But so now, how
Yeah.
can we get in contact with, the cancer? Where can they find more information about the Cancer Care
Well, the
Fund?
best place is through our website,
Okay.
which is ccflh.org.
Okay. Fabulous. Fabulous.
Can you repeat that?
ccflh.org. Cancer
CC
Care Fund of the Litchfield Hills.
Okay.
ccflh.org.
Beautiful.
I'm getting the rhythm of that. CCFLH.
Dot
org, right.
CCFLH.
And we're going to have
.org.
Jacque
So-
sing it for you.
Yeah. He's going to make a
He's
jingle.
going to make a jingle.
Yes.
Right.
I love it. I love it.
So all the information is on there about different things that we do.
And
the
that
tours on
application
there.
would be on there as well.
No, the application's not on there, but you can email me
Okay.
through there and to get the
Well, the referral has to
application.
come from the hospital, though, right?
It doesn't have to.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Doesn't have to, but that's mostly where our referrals come from is
Okay.
through social workers,
Right.
either at radiation oncology or Smilo or at the hospital.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
and I
You
know
know,
one of my very very close friends and boss, Danny Hartnett is on the
Yes,
board.
Danny's
Danny Hartnett is the
on our
president of the board of directors for Friendly
Yep.
Hands, and he's on
Oh.
he's on the board of directors there.
Right.
So and he talks about the important work that you all do and how close it is to his heart that helping these people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, especially during this difficult time.
Right.
So yeah, I had to give out a little shout out to Danny.
Right.
That-
yeah,
that-
we love Danny.
that helping, especially for cancer, when you're going through a difficult thing such as
Right.
cancer, is very important. A friend of mine went had cancer treatment. I want to say last summer,
Mhm.
and all us friends got together and we took turns for the week, just making dinner for
Yeah.
the family,
Nice.
Yeah.
so that her husband and her kids could focus on
Right.
taking care of her.
Right.
Wow. Yeah.
And
Right.
and she doesn't have to worry about how is my family eating today, who's
Right.
going to cook.
Right.
And we would each bring over a meal every single day that she
Yeah,
was going
that's
through.
nice.
That's
You
great.
know, so it is very, very important to have that help.
Right.
It really is.
Right.
It
And-
takes a load off.
And like Jacque said, the resources that abound in Litchfield County, I think, and it's great that we have you on tonight so people can learn more about this. I'll bet you there's people in our listening audience that probably didn't even know about this.
Correct.
Right.
Oh, I'm
and
sure.
to bring
Right.
this to the forefront about the agencies and the various places that people can get help. There is help out there. There are people that are willing to help with a myriad of different things. So again, it's so important to, collaborations are key with all these organizations,
It
and to
definitely
keep, the people informed of this is just
Absolutely.
amazing.
I think it's absolutely amazing. Nothing against GoFundMe,
no,
but if you can get the help locally through
Right.
an organization, I think that's
exactly resources.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And with that being said, it's about that time. We're at the bottom of the hour, and we want to show some love to our sponsors. So we're going to turn the show over to Coryse.
Oh,
Right.
back to me. Okay,
Back
I'm
to
gonna have to
you.
pull that up. Put my spectacles on one more
There you
time.
go.
Here we go.
There you go.
Sorry. Okay, so once again, Toth Insurance Agency, 1151 East Main Street, Torrington, Connecticut. Better protection, better value. 860-496-7771. Toth INS at optonline.net. Next, we have Mel Brickman and Health Markets, 16 McDermott Ave, Suite 1, Torrington, Connecticut.
Better call Mel.
There you go. 860-307-1128. healthmarkets.com/local-health-ins. Next, we have Brooks, Todd, and McNeil Insurance, 69 Water Street, Torrington, Connecticut. Keeping an eye on your insurance needs since 1839. That's a long
That's a
time.
long time.
Their website is brookstoddmcneil.com. And lastly, we have Dr. Michael Curry, 30 Peck Road, Suite 2105, Torrington, Connecticut. Pediatric care for over 50 years. 860-482-8177. TorringtonPediatrics.com.
Thank you so much, Coryse, for the shout out to our big city sponsors, Karen.
Absolutely. So
Don't get it twisted.
I will not. So our big city
We won't
sponsors.
say what Karen
I was
slipped
tongue-
up
I was
and
tongue
said before.
twisted. I was talking
It
about
wasn't city.
It was close. It rhymed with city. But yeah, so we have Dawn's Getaway, 24 Winston Road in Torrington, Connecticut. Christie's Restaurant, 545 Winston Road in Torrington, Connecticut. Health Insurance Services, 438 Main Street in Torrington, Connecticut. Wall and Fraunhofer, 117 Main Street in Torrington. Soul Latina Cafe, 31 Hungerford Street in Torrington, Connecticut. Jimmy's Store, 1238 East Main Street in Torrington. the 5 Points Arts Center at 855 University Drive in Torrington, Connecticut. And lastly, George's Music at 905 New Harwinton Road in Torrington, Connecticut. We thank you.
Shout out.
All righty.
All righty.
You know, I'd like to take a minute here, and just talk about a great event happening at the Beakley Community Library in New Hartford, Connecticut. And they're having a holiday coffee house fundraiser December 9th at 7 p.m. Come support the Beakley Library this holiday season. We will have wonderful music, refreshments, and a raffle auction items. All ages welcome. And they're going to be featuring the Dan Lipriani Jazz Trio. So they're going to have some great jazz music there. December 9th, 7 p.m. Great events. There are so many great local events happening that you don't have to spend a ton of money to go to.
No.
Events happening at the library, at the Historical Society, at the Warner Theater even.
Absolutely.
And they're great, like dinner events, great sit-down events, great events to take your family.
Or you know, date night or whatever. But this Friday in downtown Torrington, they're having the Halloween Hoopla. It's Friday, October 27th from 5 to 8 p.m. And this here is Trick or Treat on downtown Main Street, Franklin Plaza, and East Main Street. A lot of the vendors are actually the stores and restaurants and whatever. The kids are encouraged to dress up, come with their parents. But Kids Play Museum is also doing, in conjunction with this on Friday evening, a sensory-friendly Halloween event inside Kids Play Museum. The Torrington area Families for Autism is having a sensory-friendly Halloween trick-or-treat inside Kids Play at the same time as the Halloween Hoopla outside. So if you have children that need these services, you know, where they could go in and enjoy, where it's not oversensitized, that's fabulous. But again, bring your kids. It's a great family event this Friday night happening downtown Torrington. Halloween Hoopla. Get dressed up, parents, kids, come on down and enjoy some family fun.
And I think they said you can bring your own pumpkins to do like pumpkin carving as well.
Okay, yep. I wasn't aware of that. So, I mean, there's some great things going on. You will see us. You'll also know that on Sunday of this weekend, St. Paul's Lutheran Church in their parking lot, they are doing a trunk or treat. That is from 3 to 4:30. You will find a lot of people there. We're going to be there with the Friendly Hands van, and we're going to be handing out.
How are you decorating it?
Well, we're going to decorate it, not spooky, but fun, but we're going to be handing out bags and bags of apples as a healthy thing to the parents.
I like that.
But the kids are going to get candy. So make sure you come. You don't
Parents
have to dress
get
up.
apples.
Yes,
Kids get candy.
exactly. So after they go home, they're not like calling the dentist. So
I want
again,
candy.
well, you can have a candy bar too.
Fine.
So that's at St. Paul's Lutheran Church this Sunday, and that is from 3 to 4:30 in their parking lot. So we hope to see you there.
I want to decorate my trunk and come.
Well, come. I will put you on the list.
Good.
So good. Do that and bring the kids.
I will.
So yeah, this is.
I love doing things like that.
Oh, good.
Yes, I used to for years have my house became known as the Riddle House.
Oh.
I started it one year because I had college courses back when we had Torrington UConn at UConn, and so I was like, I needed to do something for the kids. So I did riddles, and once they solved the riddle, they had to search in the yard for the answer to that riddle. And tied to the answer was the bag of candy.
Oh.
So my house became known as the Riddle House.
Wow.
And every year since then, I've done the Riddle House. But now I live in a neighborhood with not that many kids.
Oh.
So I do want to participate in something
Okay, now
like
let's
a trunk
do
or
that.
treat.
Let's do that. All right, so you're in. I'll make that happen. So yeah, so there's a lot of things going on.
Absolutely, and I think that as we get closer to the holidays.
Ooh, what are we going to be? What are we going to be next Tuesday?
Well, we thought that it would be interesting to pose this question to our viewing audience. And we're thinking about our Halloween costumes And we thought it would be interesting if you guys gave us some suggestions on what you might want to see us dressed up as.
Exactly.
Yes,
Now
yes.
remember, there are 4 of us.
Yes.
Yep.
So there's always 4. Of course, Susan won't be with us next week as the guest, but
Thank
Corinne will
goodness.
be back.
She'll be with
Well, we
us
were
in
going to have you as
spirit.
Tinkerbell.
She'll be with us in spirit, though.
Exactly. So we need to know, what can the 4 of us, should we dress as like 4, like as a group of something, or should we be individuals?
I
Should
know.
we trade places?
Should we be the Incredibles?
Yeah.
Should we trade places? We
Yeah.
have.
Oh,
I could be
Karen
Jacque.
could be Jacque.
I could be
you
Jacque.
could definitely do
Have
that.
the men be the women and the
Yeah,
women be the men. There we
Oh.
go.
Can
We
you
can
see
do something
that?
like that.
Oh,
Yes.
my gosh.
Oh my goodness! Can
Oh
you
my
sit? Come on,
gosh.
Susan. Wouldn't
Oh.
that be fabulous?
Oh, my
Yes.
gosh.
How many
Totally.
How many pairs
Yes.
of hair pieces can I bring for Jacques to put in blonde?
I'm not
Yep.
coming
Wouldn't
as
he look
Barbie.
Yeah.
Wouldn't he look fabulous as a blonde? You call us, you vote.
Yes.
Okay, you have the number at the bottom of your screen. You call us and
Or-
you vote on what you think we should be, and let us know what you think we should.
Or you can check us out on our City Views Facebook page,
Yes.
too. Engage with us there.
Yes.
And say that you saw the show and that you
Put your
want to...
suggestions.
Yeah, and you want to see some craziness.
Yeah, you want to see that, and that's what we're going to do next week, because I think that'll be fun, because that'll be very interesting.
I might come as my alter ego.
Oh, what's your
What's
who's
that?
your alter ego?
I can't tell you because he would get upset.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. All right.
Dan's the only one that got that.
Okay. I don't know, Dan. Okay, you'll have to
Dan,
share
yeah,
later,
share
Dan,
with
'cause
us later,
for
Dan.
us who have
Well,
no
Dan
clue.
is of another intellectual ilk. That
Okay.
It will take us quite some time to elevate ourselves to.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yeah.
Well, that also goes for our camera crew and our, all of
Yeah.
you, Dan, that you guys have to dress up next week too,
Yep.
because it's in the rules. So
It
you
is.
can come as yourself.
It's in the rules.
Doug
Yeah.
said that he was coming as Dick Clark.
Okay, that's good. There you go. Bandstand. So yeah, maybe. I mean, this is going to be funny because I'm going to dress up for work at the food bank next week.
Karen,
I
you
think.
dress up every day for work.
I know,
If,
but in a
if you
costume.
follow Karen on Facebook for the Friendly Hands Food Bank, there is always something hilarious going on over there. If it's not, I can't even tell you the funny things I
one
see.
year I did make Danny Hartnett dress as a piece of pizza. Okay, so I have food. We could dress as food if we want. Danny was a piece of pizza. A friend of mine was a hamburger. I have a donut. I have cookies. I have milk. I have whatever you want. Food. I have an
my
avocado,
gosh.
strawberry. So again, I could be like food, but again, we want to hear from you, our viewing audience, and what do you think we should be for next week? And hopefully, we'll pick one of the suggestions, and we're going to just have fun with it, because I think next week is just not just for kids anymore.
And I do think that will perfectly segue us into what's cooking.
What's
What's
cooking?
cooking?
Let's
So,
see. Is
yeah,
she
let's
on?
see.
She's
Let-
not
let-
on yet.
Well,
but
not
she's
yet.
calling in.
Let's see what's
45. Is she
cooking.
calling in at 6:45 or?
40.
6:40.
All right, so
40.
she's not on the line yet, but our state representative, Michelle Cook, will be joining us, as is every week. And I'm sure she'll have some updates for us as to what she's been doing and what's been going on around town. I know she's been getting around to different events, so that'll be interesting to hear about that. But we do have 2 minutes before, so.
Well, I think I wanted to take this opportunity to share with our viewing audience our legislative reception that we had Friday
Yes.
at Connecticut State Community College Northwest in the Draper Center. And I think that we have, we're very fortunate here in the Northwest corner to have a delegation that works across the aisle with each other.
I
And
have to agree.
those sentiments are starting to echo in Hartford, and it's a sense of pride to know that our region of the state are leading some of these bipartisan efforts, and it speaks loudly to the individuals that are representing us, and the passion and desire that they have to make sure that they're looking out for the interests of their constituents over, let's just say, more partisan intents. And they're always available to us. Every Thursday we have, every second Thursday of the month at the Chamber we have a government relations meeting that all are welcome to attend. and they can hear directly from our delegates and actually ask them questions, make suggestions, recommendations
I love
on
that.
what they can.
I love that because it is, and like you said, it's so many. It's not like one or two that are there. There's like 5, 6, or 7, okay, from senators to state reps to whatever, and they are on there and they will update on what is going on in our region, what we should know about, what legislation or whatever they're working on. And it's so nice to, again, to be able to converse with them directly. And that's a huge thing with the Chamber of Commerce, which I just have to commend you all for doing that, because it is amazing that, we could actually hear from them directly, not send an email or this and that. You could talk to them.
Yeah, and it's critical too, because as they prepare for the House sessions,
Right,
they need to hear from us.
right.
It's not a situation where they're dictating to us what they're going to do and so on and
Right.
so forth. There has to be that give and take and that free flow of information, so that we're having conversations that are robust enough to actually get turned into bills.
Right.
I thought that was as we kick off our legislative reception for this year. I just want to encourage all those that are looking at the show right now to take an opportunity to check out the Chamber website and look for the Government Relations
Yes.
Committee that I do chair, and get involved. We're in election season,
Yes.
and it's very important that you understand what's going on in the local election scene.
And I think too, I'm noticing there's a lot. I've been seeing a lot of signs, especially for the Board of Education,
Yep.
and it's very important for, especially if you have children, and even if you don't, because that is huge. I have children, but they're not in the school system anymore. But I know that the Board of Education is having their elections for many positions this year, and it's very important for you to get out, hear what the candidates have to say, do your research, and find out about these people, what they're about, what they want to see. Because the children are our future.
Right.
And I bring up the Board of Education because, again, it doesn't matter whether you have kids in the system or not. It's a very, very important role that they play in our society, especially in Northwest Connecticut. So, find out who's running, what their platform is, what they're thinking, and get involved. And that means for any election, not just the Board of Ed. I'm just using that as an example. But in any election, find out what your candidates think, what are their views, how do they feel. Get involved, because if you don't get involved and you don't vote, don't sit at home and say, well, whatever, my vote doesn't count. Because if you don't get up and do it, you know what? Shame on you.
Right. And here's what's important about the Board of Ed. Like you said, whether or not you have kids in the system, and if you don't, it is still very important that you do come out and vote and know what's going on with the Board of Ed. Because the school system is what a lot of the times brings people to towns. When people are moving into town,
Yes.
the first thing they look at is, what is the school rating?
Exactly.
If they have a family that they want to move into a certain town, they're going to look at the school rating before
Right.
they move their family into a town.
Exactly. And
Okay.
that is huge.
Yeah,
That is huge.
It's very big.
Absolutely.
And I think some of the programs that that are being developed will address those needs from K to 12, so that there's a continuum throughout their educational
Correct.
process.
Correct.
And they have connections to the community, because, as I've often touted, it doesn't take a village to raise a child. It takes a caring village to raise a child.
Right.
And the more, as residents, we know about those issues that are taking place with our kids, you never know when you'll have the opportunity to engage them.
Exactly.
And
They are our future.
And-
And no matter what you say, right?
but I think that there's a role that as adults we can play as role models,
Yes.
so that kids can feel safe in their neighborhoods and in their educational environments, and feel free to express themselves in a way that's going to nurture their development.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Michelle is a little late. this evening in calling in, so we'll just wait for her to be ring-a-ding-a-dinging over there.
Well, she's just getting back from Texas, so she might be a little jet lagged.
She could be, you know what I mean? She was with her grandbaby, the new grandbaby, her daughter, little cutie with the darkest hair. He is just, oh my goodness, a whole set of hair. And he is adorable, but she brought her mom out to meet the new, so that would be her great granddaughter, great grandson rather. So yes, and she also has a cutie in Texas as well.
Yeah, she might be jet lagged, you know.
I know she might be tired.
So, but we'll forgive her.
That's okay. She can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope she brought us back some spurs and a big Texas belt buckle.
Yeah, I was wondering where you were going with the big. There was big something going down.
You know, listen.
She's over going like this. I'm going a big what?
Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes you'll have to excuse my co-host here on the show. They tend to go off in more ways than one.
Well, so when you start, you know, I'm Italian, so
Yeah.
the hand gesture.
Yeah.
And she had the hand. She was the big thing, and it was there, and I
Wants
don't
to wear
know.
it for Halloween.
Yes, maybe you could be
Or a big hat,
a
you know?
big giant hat. Yes, you could be one of them.
Oh, boy.
Now,
Texan
listen,
big
I
hats.
went out to Texas for when I was the tour manager for Petco, and I was just excited to see some people at the club with the big hats, and the boots, and I wanted to see those big. Are they just called the belt buckles?
Yeah,
They're
right?
called,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Okay.
I was just so excited. I'm like, I want to see. I have to see. And there, two guys I took pictures with, and they had the buckle, they had the big hat.
The buckle, the hat, and the boots.
And
that
the
was
boots.
all for her.
I mean, that was it.
that was her. That was it for you.
BHB, baby.
That's it. So Michelle, State Representative Michelle Cook is on the line.
All right.
And we are going to be speaking with her right now. Good evening, State Representative Michelle Cook.
What's cooking?
Good
What?
evening. What's cooking?
Oh my goodness. Who's with you?
Oh no, I'm by myself. I literally just walked out of my primetime house board meeting. So
Oh.
my apologies for my couple of minutes of tardiness, but I've been sitting at a board meeting discussing all the incredible things that they're doing down here.
Okay. That's fabulous. So talk to us. What's going on? What legislative updates do you have, if any, at all? Where you been? What you been doing?
So where I've been, what I've been doing, well, obviously you all know I called you from Texas last week, took my mother to see her great-grandson, made it back safely. Next week I'm heading to San Antonio to speak at a Women in Government conference.
Wow.
We are actually discussing the legislation that we were able to pass, no child under 18 being allowed to marry, because we recognize that sexual predators and abusive situations, stem from those items and human trafficking. So the folks that I worked with, the Unchained at Last group, I've been able to invite them, and they are coming to our conference in San Antonio next week, so I'll be presenting with them and on a host of other issues, as well as I'm one of the state delegates for Women in Government for the state of Connecticut.
Very nice.
And then, speaking of things that are happening around the town, last night I was at a Affordable Housing Summit in Warren, Connecticut, talking about the entire movement for affordable housing in the different communities in the entire northwest corner and their status on the affordable housing units that they're building, which I think is extremely helpful given the fact that our housing market is, has been so difficult to navigate, and we don't have enough affordable housing. Not even low income, but just affordable housing.
Very true.
And then the other thing, just because I just left primetime, for anybody that is interested, they do this amazing pop-up shop every holiday season at the Pilgrim Hall at the Lords of Litchfield. And it's open from November 18th to December 29th, and they take donations of gently used items. Obviously, they would have to be, and then they sell them. And last year, Primetime did an amazing job, and that's one of their largest fundraisers. And if anybody doesn't know what Primetime House is, it is a mental health clubhouse here in Torrington, just past McDonald's on Main Street. And they do some amazing work about getting folks back into the workforce, giving them supportive help, and the like. And I know that they partner with us down at Friendly Hands, and they help provide meals for folks. So, it's just a great way. So if you have something that's, that you're looking to get rid of, and whether it be clothing or furniture, knickknacks, dishes, or what have you, and it's gently used and, no holes, no scratches, that kind of thing, they would love to take your donated items and put it on the shelf so they could resell that out for their Prime Find shop over the holiday season.
That's amazing. I look forward to that every year. My husband and I go, and I'm just a big enthusiast of any kind of sale. And they really do have really some neat stuff. I mean, furniture or whatever. I mean, they have
stuff.
amazing stuff, and it really is a lot of fun to go see all of the items that they have. And it's nice to know that it's going to Primetime House as a fundraiser. So, yeah, if you haven't been, definitely mark your calendars for that.
I've got a question, though.
And
Would they come pick
go ahead.
up the big furniture, or you have to drop it off?
So traditionally they don't do pickups unless it's a substantial donation.
Okay.
So if it's something that needs worked out and it's something you want to donate and you need help with that, I'm sure that we could help you navigate that process out. I mean, they obviously wouldn't come to pick up a bag of clothes, but if it's a dresser or a couch, I do know that they said that they can make arrangements for larger, substantial donations.
Or, you know what, we could just strap it to the roof of your car, and, you could just...
Or we could do that. We could do that. I've been known to deliver a lot of items.
This is what I'm saying. Or we could just rent Jacque out and have him do it.
Kareem would be a better guy for that. His shoulders are a little broader.
Very true. But, I do think that it warrants, while we're talking about this really quick, they also take holiday decorations and things like that. But so many of us get concerned about where our dollars go when we donate, or, is it resold, and what happens to that money, and what is the markup? And I will tell you that everything that is made there in proceeds goes directly back here to Primetime and the good work that they do. And I think that that's so vitally important when we talk about, as we often talk about, it takes a village to raise, a child or a family member. This is really about a community village looking out for its own folks. And for me, I just think it's really cool.
Now, Michelle, unfortunately, you weren't able to attend our legislative agenda last Friday, but your presence was definitely felt, or let's say your lack of presence was definitely felt. But
for good reason.
For good reason. But one of the things that I think is becoming more and more clear, Michelle, is how our delegation is working across party lines to get stuff done for their constituents. And you played a huge role in that. While we have a couple minutes left before we get to the top of the hour, just talk to our audience a bit about how important that is, especially going into this next House session.
I think it's vitally important. Thank you for the compliment there. And I mean, one of the things that when I took office, I said, when you're elected, you're not elected to represent one party or the other. You're elected to represent the person. And that was really why I ran for office, and that's kind of been the way that I ran my office, my team, and my tenure as a public servant. It's really about the people. And that's kind of how I try to navigate things. And if we want things done, we do not need to be the dysfunctional stalemate that we see in Congress. We really need to be a functioning body. And some of my closest allies are folks on the other side of the aisle, and I find that makes us a better person. That makes us a better body, and it makes us so much more effective when we're looking at policy. And at the end of the day, like this last legislative session, not everybody, but we did pass a bipartisan budget. That's the second one in 15 years that I've been a part of. I can't say that everybody on either side voted for it, but making it bipartisan means that you had members on both sides that actually supported it, and members that were at the table helping craft that legislation. So when you see that happening, and you see a tax cut, which you don't often see tax cuts, but we saw one this year. And some out of the box thinking and getting some work done. not only does that benefit the individual who's trying to get legislation done, but that benefits our community. And it helps you gain respect when they know that your word is gold, because that's the only thing that we have is really our word, and that's our bond. But at the same time, that you're working for the people. I mean, you're obviously not going to appease all the people. So the goal is to, work for the majority of the folks and try to get it done. And that's just how we should do it. We do work pretty well here. Obviously, we have a couple of new representatives for Torrington, so they're still getting their feet wet. But it's trying to help them navigate, because at the end of the day, we'll talk Torrington specific. I'm the only one that actually lives here. And so by the folks that represent here but don't live here, it's vital that they understand what our community is about and how we work.
Well, we appreciate all your efforts, Michelle. Unfortunately, we are getting close to the top of the hour, but we'll look forward to hearing more from you next week.
Thank you. And next week, though, is Halloween, so I don't know if we're on or not, but either
We're
way.
on, and we're dressing up,
Happy
Michelle.
Halloween to everybody.
Yes, I think she should be on live next week in a costume. So we're just going to throw
Well-
that out there and then go from there.
So I'm going to throw it out there that I will be on the West Coast next Tuesday spending Halloween with my granddaughter.
See how
Okay.
she is? Okay, we'll let you play. You have to dress up as grandma.
Well, dress up, and
I
you
will
have
be
to send us a
dressing up as
picture.
Grandma.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle.
Bye, Michelle.
Good
Be
night.
safe. Bye-bye.
And I think we're about due for some shout-outs.
Yes.
Karen?
Are we doing the shout-outs? Or are we doing
We're doing the shout-outs, and then...
Then we're going to go to there. All righty. So we are going with Dawn's Getaway, 24 Winsted Road, Torrington, Connecticut. Christie's Restaurant at 545 Winsted Road in Torrington, Connecticut.
Shout-out.
Shout out. Health Insurance Services, 438 Main Street in Torrington, Connecticut.
Shout-out.
Wall and Fraunhofer, 117 Main Street, Torrington, Connecticut.
Shout-out.
Soul Latina Cafe, 31 Hungerford Street, Torrington, Connecticut.
You make me want to shout.
Jimmy's Store, 1238 East Main Street, Torrington.
Well...
5 Point Arts Center, 855 University Drive, Torrington, Connecticut.
They make me want to shout.
There you go. And finally, but last but not least, George's Music at 905 New Harwinton Road in Torrington, Connecticut.
Thank you so much, Karen.
Yes, thank you.
And
Coryse.
our big city sponsors are...
Our big city sponsors, not what Karen said instead of city, but it is city. Okay. Toth Insurance Agency,
Yes.
1151 East Main Street, Torrington, Connecticut. Better protection, better value. 860-496-7771. Toth INS at optonline.net. Next, we have Mel Brickman and Health Markets, 16 McDermott Ave, Suite 1, Torrington, Connecticut.
Better call Mel.
860-307-1128, healthmarkets.com/local-health-ins. Next, we have Brooks, Todd and McNeil Insurance, 69 Water Street, Torrington, Connecticut. Keeping an eye on your insurance needs since 1839. 860-598-8753, brookstoddmcneil.com. And lastly, we have Dr. Michael Curry, 30 Peck Road, Suite 2105, Torrington, Connecticut. Pediatric care for over 50 years. 860-482-8177. And that's TorringtonPediatrics.com.
Thank you so much, Coryse. And thank you so much, Susan, for joining us
Thank
tonight
you
on
for
City
having
Views.
me.
It's been a blast, man.
It has been.
We look forward to having you back.
Thank you.
And
Absolutely.
continued success with the Cancer Care Fund.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for your
definitely.
good work.
And we'll see you all back next week right here, same bat time, same bat channel, for more City Views.
Next Tuesday, we're going to be dressed up.
They
Woohoo!
are
Happy
not me.
Halloween. Yes, you are.
Not me.
You're wearing a
We're getting him
You're
dressed
wearing a
up.
blonde wig.
Nah.
I'm bringing it.
Nah.
Good night,
Nighty-night.
everybody.
City Views, City Views, City Views. City Views, City Views.